Hello, my name is Ericka Tisdale, and I am a junior elementary education major. My experiences with math are relatively negative ones. Math for me is kind of like the game of basketball, by which I mean it's been a struggle. In basketball, you have to learn the basic fundamentals before you can learn how to play the game. This is the same for math, and unfortunately for me, I wasn't given the proper fundamentals. In my presentation, I will relate math to basketball. You train alongside your teammates, practicing skill and an overall understanding of the game in order to win. There were times when I lost possession of the ball and times when I had no idea what I was doing. My math experience has been a constant struggle to remain in possession of the ball, to understand the strategies of the game, and to win. As I recall, math was okay up to the third grade. That was the last year I remember being successful and confident in math. My teacher, Miss Regman, had math problems posted around the room, and we practiced a different lesson every day. I was always eager to answer the questions because I actually understood and math made sense to me. 5th grade was where the math nightmares started. As math became increasingly harder, I began to fall behind and therefore lost my confidence. My teacher didn't necessarily help my situation. Instead, I began to feel dumb and started to hate math altogether. In basketball, like in math, it is important to have confidence on the court, or else your performance will be poor. This initial wall I hit created holes in my math foundation, which would cause problems throughout my experience in math. In junior high, my math experiences were a little bit better. I had a great teacher in 6th grade named Miss Bauman. I learned a lot about math in her class. I can still sing the songs she taught us about mean, median, mode, and range, and other fun acronyms like PEMDAS that helped us remember the order of operations. I still, however, did not like or enjoy math, and my grades reflected that. Another problem I faced was the fear of asking questions when I didn't understand something. This, in turn, caused the gaps in my math foundation to widen. The order of math classes when I was in school went like this: pre-algebra, beginning in 8th grade, then Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, Pre-Calculus, and Calculus. Most students took Pre-Algebra and Algebra 1 at the same time so that they could take the next 4 classes 1 year at a time. I, however, felt incapable of taking both classes at once, so even though I was technically on schedule with my courses, most other students in my grade were ahead of me. I felt as though my teammates had moved up to varsity while I was stuck on JV. In high school, I continued to struggle with math. The worst and most traumatic event was pre-calculus my senior year. Most other seniors were taking calculus this year, but I was stuck behind with the juniors. I even had a few sophomores in my class. This made me feel even more embarrassed at my lack of math intelligence. My teacher was strict and intimidating. I had too much fear mixed with pride to ask questions or seek help from her, and therefore made the worst grades ever in this class. I felt like the coach had taken me out of the game altogether, and I was stuck on the bench. Luckily, one of the other math teachers in the department was able to tutor me, and together we made it through my pre-calculus class. Over the years, and in the college courses I have taken, many of the holes in my mathematic fundamentals have been filled. Still, math does not come easy to me. Having experienced such a hard time with math, I now understand the concept of self-efficacy. If I had believed that I would become a good math student, I would have had a lot more incentive to work towards that goal. Instead, I allowed myself to fail simply because I didn't know I could do better. As a teacher, first and foremost, I want to establish confidence and strong self-efficacy in my students so they believe that they can succeed. I also want to make math enjoyable for my students like my 3rd and 6th grade teachers did for me. It is important as a teacher to understand that not all students learn the same, so teachers must learn to accommodate to every student's learning style. Like a coach, I will teach my students the fundamentals as well as the confidence needed to succeed in their academic performance.